The CEO of LECUDO USA, Mr. Terence Atem, is the brain behind the health campaign that started in 2022 in Chang at Fiange Polyclinic. Mr. Terence has also piloted some heavy projects like the solar electrification and the current road project. However, as he prepares to step down from the leadership position, many will remember him for his numerous works. But the health campaign will remain his signature project. Come with me as we meet the man who is transforming Liban.
Hi viewers, welcome to Gaza Media. I am Jordan Karim and today I'm here with
Terence Atem, the CEO of LECUDO USA.
Okay, Mr. Terence, before a program is being done or before it's being carried out, there must always be an initiator. So could you please tell our viewers who initiated the program, who initiated the health program since 2022 under your leadership?
Right, thank you Karen for having me and to Gaza Media for all the work that you guys do. When we took over as an executive 2020, so the first thing that we did was basically doing a need assessment in terms of what type of programs LECUDO could put in place to help its people. And that's what we call our action plan. In one of the core needs that we identified was healthcare. So we set up the Health and Wellness Committee for LECUDO USA to work on some of the ideas and bring those ideas to us as an executive. We identified that one way we could help our people was to set up a health campaign and then probably wrap that into medical mission. So when this came up through our committees, the Health and Wellness Committee, then we fine-tuned that and then made that to be a program which we started implementing 3 years ago.
Right. So sir, for the past 3 years, like you just said, this program has been running and we have been hearing the same sponsors coming up all the time. But this year it's a change. There are other different organizations who have taken up the responsibility to be sponsors of the health campaign. So could you please tell viewers the CEOs of these organizations and as well as their names?
Yes. So basically, every year we've increased our partners and our network when it comes to the health campaign. Initially, we started the health campaign. It was LECUDO as the owner of the program. And then we brought in Healing Beyond the Horizon with the CEO being Professor Ekokobe Fonkem, who is a neurosurgeon. And then we also have, as one of those initial partners, Life Bridge International, that is headed by Mr. Richard Luqueta, who is the CEO. And then we had Mary Health of Africa, that is owned by the Folklore Movement, an Italian missionary group that created a hospital in our area. So we had Fiange Polyclinic in Chan because we started with a health campaign only in Chan. So these were our primary partners for the first year. And then last year we brought in Teka Labs, which was a lab partner to help with the lab needs. And this year, as you said, truly, we have almost, I agree with you, we kind of almost doubled our partners by bringing in new partners like Purpose Medical Mission. We brought in the Credit Union. We brought in LECUDO, Culture and Development Organization in the United States. We brought in Kamba Health, which is a program that creates apps, applications to help with electronic medical records. So we kind of have built up the partnership and network organizations quite a bit.
Thank you, sir. You began by saying every year you bring in a new partner. What could be the motivation behind this?
Right. Karen, as you know, they say one hand cannot tie a bundle. If you want to tie a bundle and tie it stronger, you need many more hands. And the way you do that, it's by building a network of partners who have the same philosophy like you. They might differ in their approach, but they see the same direction that you see. So, and it also helps you to look for to bring in more money, bring in more resources, both money and human capacity. But it also helps you also in terms of ideas, because the more you have these different points of views, if you're able to leverage them well, you can make a program even more stronger, because you have more intelligent people at the table trying to come up with ideas how you can strengthen the project. So that was really the motivation. But also, generally, I've held a lot of leadership positions. I've always thought about really stakeholdership and capacity building, networking. So those are things that I learned, that if you want to be successful running a program, running a project, because that's the only way you grow a project and get it to maturity, by bringing in more partners, and the real partners, not, you got to be careful the type of partners that you bring. So I think we've been able to bring in partners that they trust us, we trust them.
Okay, sir. So for every project to see the light of day, there must be a backup funding. So where does LECUDO USA get her funding from?
Right. So primarily, we get our funding from our members, which are members of LECUDO USA. We're a membership organization. Anybody who wants to claim membership has to pay an annual development due of $100. So that's the foundation. And then we also raise funds through our fundraising operations, especially during our annual convention. So every year we organize an annual convention in July, and that we rotate, move from state to state, and that allows us to also raise money during the gala night. Then we have the third source of income, which is now through our partners or sponsors. So that's the third way we raise money. And of course, the fourth way would be sometimes reaching out to churches and just doing very basic programs that can bring in some money, and then writing proposals. That we are still trying to beef up our operation when it comes to writing proposals for external donors.
Okay, sir. This is out of curiosity.
Right.
You just stated the various ways or means LECUDO USA gets funding from. So does LECUDO USA have a particular project that brings in income to them?
Not really. We do not, and that's really an area where I think we need to work a little bit harder. Because we really don't want to keep carrying water, from a small pond, because it's going to dry up. So that's the reason why we've worked so hard to bring in a grant writer to be able to write big projects for us, project proposals for us, so that instead of us just continuing to depend on our members and our community, we can then go outside of our natural supporters and raise money from big organizations. But we're also thinking about, as you said, an investment model, because even though you're a non-profit, it doesn't mean you can't do business. It doesn't mean you cannot engage in opportunities where you make money. The only difference is that you're making that money to use. You need to use it for the social cause and not use it to distribute. So we are also looking at investments. Unfortunately, I have to leave in July. I'm term limited, but the hope is that the next CEO and the next team would come and try to work on that and try to see, probably build a hall so that people can be renting and making money, open farms so that people can do some labor there and bring in money. So the calculus needs to change.
Thank you, sir. And last but not the least, you just mentioned the aspect of you leaving as CEO of LECUDO USA come July. Are you eligible to run for next year elections?
No, I'm not eligible. So it's very clear that I'm term limited by the Constitution. And I think even if I was given the opportunity to run again, I wouldn't take it, even if it was constitutional, because I think the job is so excruciating that you really don't want to stay on it beyond 4 years. Everything that is good comes to an end. So the key thing for sustainability is to begin to prepare for transition. Who would be the best person to take over this job so that they can continue to grow the organization, strengthen it, make it stronger, and make it more visionary. And I think with the help of the community and our members who work on that, and I'm very confident that we're going to elect a new CEO and a new executive that is even far better than us in terms of performance. But I think let me take the opportunity to give a shout out to my family, especially my wife and my kids, because a lot of times, as you see, Karen, they are always forgotten. People forget that they are really the real soldiers and the real people encourage us, right? Because if my wife doesn't sign that check, doesn't let me pull money from the bank, I cannot pay for my transportation. If she vetoes and say you cannot leave us to the kids, or she won't be able to take that extra burden of going to drop kids. My kids go to 4 separate schools, 4 different schools, and we have to drop them every single, drop most of them off at school. So that's a lot of responsibility. So, and when I come here, sometimes I have to pay someone to take Uber and pick up my kids, drop them, pick up, and it's a lot of cost. The organization doesn't refund me that, they don't pay me that, they don't give me back that money. It's out of pocket. So with these responsibilities, this position, you not only spend your time, you also spend a lot of your own money, personal money. So I really wanted to thank my family for giving me the opportunity, and also thank some of those who have really been with us, especially for the health campaign, since that's our focus. So I will give a shout out to Dr. Sumaya Etienne, who is the main coordinator for the program. And then we also have our Health and Wellness Committee Chair, Dr. Ntumbong Nyatsambong in the United States. And then we have Dr. Christella Mbebo, who is also the co-chair of the Health Committee, but also directs the program from the United States, the Health Campaign Program. But I also wanted to give a very big shout out to Professor Robert Lequet, Professor Emeritus from CUSE, and he has a lot of accolades. I can't name them here, but for accepting to come here this time to serve and help his own people, in spite of his very busy schedule. But then our donors, as you know, Healing Beyond the Horizon, Dr. Kokobe and Dr. Palmeri, Life Bridge International, Mr. Richard Quetta, and so many other, all the other partners that I don't want to go listing everybody's name, but they know themselves, and we know we cherish them. And most importantly, our volunteers. You cannot do this work. The people who do this work, it's not us. These are the volunteers, medical doctors, nurses. Many of them live from the United States. Many of them come right from areas like Cambe, where they take 2 days to get out, and they still determine that they have to come and help their people. And again, many of these volunteers are not even our tribes people, right? They are buying the people, they're Bamilikis, they're Bakwari. Everybody's just trying to help, because healthcare, nobody knows any boundary. You don't look at faces, no politics, you just go to help. So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity and for sharing our stories,
Thank you very much, Tose, and thank you viewers for watching. Please don't forget to share, like, and comment on our Gaza Media page, on YouTube rather, so you'll be notified on every community event that's been placed or being updated on the page. Thank you once more.